Hey there, today the moon continues in Pisces, that transcendent, nebulous, spiritual energy of Pisces that can help us connect with our spiritual truth, our spiritual needs. And then around 5 p.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into Aries, shifting into that action and movement vibe. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Tuesday, May 12th. So, as the moon continues through Pisces today, as I was mentioning yesterday, there might be some release needed, some letting go energy, some connecting with your feelings of what is true at the bigger level, listening to your spiritual guidance and wisdom and that bigger truth. Even if that's just what you feel intuitively, it's that deeper sense of knowing of that bigger truth. And so, practices you can do that help you connect with your heart, that help you connect with that bigger picture of wisdom, are going to be super powerful right now, especially as we are really on that in that process of shifting gears. So we're going to be heading into the Taurus new moon on Friday, and so tonight the moon goes into Aries, getting ready to head into Taurus. But as the moon goes into Aries, we enter that zone of new beginnings. So the vibe of action, new birth, what we're starting, what we're initiating, what we're stepping into that has to do with the future. And as the moon throughout the day, before it hits that 5 p.m., 5:03 exactly p.m. Pacific time moment when it shifts into Aries, it's moving through those final degrees of Pisces. And those final degrees are very activating for whatever it is that needs to come to the surface so that we can bring completion to it. And we have recently had these outer planets moving through that final degree and degrees of Pisces. So just not very long ago, we've had Neptune really hanging out, spending a lot of time at 29 degrees Pisces. And that has helped us to become aware of what is true in the bigger picture, really making that connection with our dream for the future, our hopes, our dreams, our ability to imagine the way things could be, and connecting with that vibe of what is a higher spiritual way of being, way of moving in the world, way of operating look like, something that is more interconnected, more compassionate toward ourselves and others. And so connecting with that flow of unconditional love that Pisces brings. And as we get to like the moon moving through Pisces for a couple of days, because it is a short time that we have a moon in Pisces, but just for today, especially activating those final degrees, really bringing something to the surface that connects us with the bigger picture of what matters most to us, and could potentially be bringing something to the surface that reminds us of, hey, this is not what's going with you on your journey into the next incarnation or next phase of your life. So opportunities to really become aware of what it is we're releasing, to go through that process of feeling the feelings, moving through the grief, really feeling what it means to let go of something, especially like I was saying yesterday, letting go of attachments, letting go of control, letting go of those things that, or the way we thought it would go, or the things that we thought would be true that maybe are not exactly true, or it's not exactly the way things are going. So as we let go, we let those waves of change come through like the ocean to wash away what isn't going with us into the next phase of things. And so that's the energy of today, is really connecting with that bigger picture, with what is true in the bigger sense, what is maybe not so true that we might have been attached to in the past or thought was the way things would be, and letting go of that. And as we do that, we are clearing, we are cleansing, we are releasing, we are again letting those ocean waves energetically wash away what we don't need, because then the moon goes into Aries. And that Aries moon in at 0 degrees Aries, where it steps into the very beginning of Aries, and then heads toward a conjunction with Neptune within the first few hours of going into Aries. So that is activating in terms of what we are becoming. What is that new way forward? What does the new phase look like? What are we becoming? What are we stepping into? What are we beginning? What new directions are we moving into? So later in the day, depends on your time zone when this will be, but later in the day, we want to look at themes of what is activating us, what are we initiating, what's exciting to us, right? Where do we feel that sense of inspiration about how to move forward, and finding that energy, that drive, that will that spurs us into moving forward, taking those action steps to do something. And so whether you are working on, movement or taking action or doing things, or you're just getting that sense of clarity that helps you make decisions, that's what we will have more access to after the moon goes into Aries. So we have that to look forward to, and shifting into that embodiment, right? That stepping into what it is we want to create and taking the action to make it happen, because we are human beings and things don't manifest instantly for us. Maybe they do in our dreams. Maybe you're a dream master, right? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're a human master and you can manifest things instantly, but most of us can't do that. So we have that energy of Neptune that is that part of us that feels into what we want and what it feels like, and what's true in that bigger picture. And then we need the Aries energy to take the action that we need the action steps, right? The actionable next steps on your list, and what it is you can do. And so even the small things, right? Maybe it's just looking something up, or making a phone call, or doing that one little task that's going to help you move something forward. Maybe it's answering a question. Maybe it's finding somebody to talk to about something. So those are all examples of action steps that we can take in the real world, from our physical day-to-day lives, physical selves, not our spiritual selves, but our physical selves, to do the things that are going to help us move forward to that dream of what we want to manifest. So, and then activating, the moon will activate Neptune, reminding us of the dream and how to act on the dream, and how to act from that bigger sense of who we are in the bigger picture. Thanks for joining me today. I am Marina Orms. Click subscribe to follow me on this YouTube channel, and go check out my member site, transformationalastrology.com, where I am just beginning a new program called Manifesting with Moon Cycles. That is, in fact, the return of an old program, but this time new and different. And I'm really excited about that. So you can learn more about that at transformationalastrology.com. And I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.